Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my good buddy Ryan Ennis. Ryan, how are you, man?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm trying to cut back food after I ate too much yesterday on the 4th.
Oh, you went out to barbecue and stuff?
No, I barbecued at the house.
Oh, that's cool. I stayed in. I watched the entire third season of Stranger Things. Only 8 episodes, but
How is it?
it was one of my favorite seasons of a show that I've watched in a long time. It was really well done. It's have you watched it all?
Yes.
Okay, like you know how they really pay homage to the '80s with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't feel like it's just cheesy shit. It was just very enjoyable. There's a lot of connections, a lot of humor that living through that era, because with me being born '82 and shit, and you're right in that same group. I don't know. It's just kind of like a lot of nostalgia, and it was done like a horror movie this season, more like a horror movie than anything else. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't see this season, so.
I'm surprised that you liked it because you're not really a horror movie guy.
No, I liked the story, and it's more like it was a horror movie wrapped up in a season of Stranger Things, if that makes any sense. It was just well done. I like good horror movies. I don't like gore. And that's what a lot of horror turned into, was just gore. But, I like sci-fi, and this was very sci-fi. So,
I was going to say, now that makes sense because I know you get squeamish with blood, so it would make sense that why you wouldn't like gore.
yeah, I was never a big fan of it. Used in the right context. Again, like there are some, like a fucking tendon tear or a tendon cut in a movie will always get me to jump. You know what I'm talking about? When somebody cuts somebody's tendon in a movie? Like, to me, that's, like, when they linger on that, like, to me, that, I feel that. But with done right, I think it's perfect for certain scenes. I just don't like movies that rely on that gore and shit.
You're reminding me of the new Mortal Kombat when I can't remember. It might be Jax. He does the one fatality where he pulls the dude's arm out of the socket, and you can see like all the tendons and shit coming out. And that, like, I'm the same way. I'm like, ooh.
None of that bothers me. If I see it in a movie, that bothers me. But even as realistic and, as good as the graphics are, I still know it's a game. And for whatever reason, I don't. But if I would have seen that stuff in a movie, I'd probably be like, ugh. I don't know how to put it. I love the fatalities. I told you I finally went around and got Final Fantasy. I mean, got Mortal Kombat 11, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that game, but I'm just not very good in it.
Have you gone to I think it's called the Crypt?
Oh yeah, I've unlocked. I don't think there's anything I have left to unlock with what I have right now, and I'm sitting at like 3 million additional coins.
Nice.
I'm not bad. Like, I'm good when I'm around people who are the casual players, but it's like you got players now that are so good in these games that it wouldn't even be close. Like, my friend and I are both okay in Smash Brothers, but if I played anybody who knew what the fuck they were doing, I'd get destroyed, and I know it, and I don't find that fun.
It reminds me of when I used to play Madden online, and I thought I was good, and I was pretty good. But you'd get on there with like hardcore gamers, and like they'd beat like 60-0 and shit like that.
Oh, I have one friend, or he's my friend, but like my best friend's known him quite a while, and we've been playing video games. And one day it comes out that he was like one of the top 100 players in Madden in the world.
Oh wow!
I was like, really? Yeah, and my boy's like, yeah, he's fucking nasty. Like, you don't want anything to do with him. And I remember me and my boy playing. My boy isn't trash. And when he's telling me stories of how he's never beaten him in Madden, like, it blows my mind how people could be so good, at certain games.
Dude, I used to be really, really good when I was younger. Like in my early 20s, I would like go over this one guy's house I used to work with, and he would always like bet money. And one time the dude got so mad, he was like, "I'll bet everything that's in my account." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, at that time, yeah, until they came out, I think it was maybe '04, '05 when they came out with QB Vision. That was the one that killed it for me. Where you had to look with the QB where you
Oh, I
wanted to
fucking
throw
hate
it.
that.
It was that was the year that I stopped playing Madden because the game changed so much.
The year I'm thinking of is when the Bengals were really good, and they had like Chad Johnson and Hushmanzada and whoever else. I used to murder people with them.
Yeah, my friend and I would play games, and like we still joke about it today. And it's funny because we'll do Mario Kart, and we'll race for say like 6 races, and it's 15 for first, 12 for second. I think it's 10 for third. If I tell you that if we play 10 times, we're off by 1 or 2 at the end of 6 races, 10 out of 10 times.
Wow.
And that's how we've always been on Madden. There's maybe been twice in our entire time where the other person got blown out, where it didn't come down to the last drive or one of the last drives. We're just so evenly matched when it comes to games. Even with Smash, I may win like 15 battles, but you look at total kills, he'll be 1 or 2 behind me.
Nice. All right.
Let's talk about some wrestling because people don't care about us playing video games.
I was just going to say that before we get rolling. Don't forget to check out our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at ASC Pods. You can find our entire catalog on B Plus Player Radio. Find them on Twitter at B Plus Radio. Also, check out their sponsors over at Audible. You can get a 30-day free trial. You can listen to audiobooks, comedy stuff, podcasts, whatever you like. Go to audibletrial.com/B plus players. All right. Where do you want
I got a really happy interaction I had on Facebook, or actually through YouTube. So I follow Zach Gowen on social media just because he's so fucking inspirational. I mean, dude got one leg and look where he is. So he put up something the other day about his son playing Fortnite, and he was in the, Zach would be in the chat responding. So I was like, okay, let me click. So him and I get to talking, and I'm like, bro, you don't know how many times I've met you in Rahway. That, like where we just sat and spoke, I was like, and then I told him that I'm a friend of Kevin's and stuff like that. And it's just, what a small world. He's like, yeah, the next time you're around, say, hey, let me know. I was like, I will do that. Absolutely. It's just, he's such a nice, humble guy. And, there was only like 4 people in the room, but he took the time out to actually was talking with people, being super positive, super inspirational. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there, that, he could have been a dick, he could have been mean, but he was just really nice. And it's always nice to, to see things like that.
That's awesome, dude. That's a funny segue. Did you see, I think it was DDP put out a video about Big Cass?
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. I knew it had something to do with DDP Yoga, but I thought Kaz had put that out himself, of him just sitting there kind of talking about...
Maybe he did, and then DDP just, shared it.
Yeah, I definitely thought it had something to do with DDP Yoga. I wasn't sure what that something was, but... Yeah, no, look, the dude was very open about his demons, and that is super commendable.
Yeah, dude. The one picture they showed of all the alcohol he drank in one day was insane to me.
What the fuck's going on at my door? Oh, okay.
You broke it.
No, because my wife was leaving. I didn't know what the hell it was. I don't know if one of the cats tried to run away. But I was supposed to go with my wife to a picnic, but I got this awful toothache, so you guys are stuck with me today.
What am I going to do with my life?
Talk about awful wrestling.
Yeah. No, what I was saying is there's a photo that Cass put up in that video package. It showed all the alcohol. Excuse me, he drank in one day, which is like ridiculous to me.
Yeah, I'm just happy he's getting help now,
Yeah,
and that he's in a much better place seemingly.
he lives down near me now.
Oh, does he?
He's in a
Sober
like
living home?
yeah, like a clean living house in Delaware.
Oh, that's cool. That's gotta be such a change for him, though.
He looks much better, I'll say that. Like from the time I saw him when he had the seizure to like the time they had him in Ring of Honor, like that one time, he looks so much better.
Yeah. I'm just happy that, it's being addressed. It's because he was definitely like, I'm glad he got help with the seizure, like, because apparently that was from all the drinking he was doing, right? It wasn't even like a neurological, it was no sleep. Yeah, it was no sleep and all the drinking.
Yes, and he was a real bad chain smoker.
That blows my mind. But I guess in light of everything, especially with him outright saying it, like, he deserved to be fired then.
Oh, definitely, dude. Especially if the reports they said about him like acting out with Carmella backstage, and he's loaded. That's just a nightmare.
And he was also a very vocal supporter of Trump, which again, you can support whomever you choose. But I believe he got into like Middle Eastern politics with Sami Zayn.
Oh no.
And it's not like Sami Zayn is some be all end all, but Sami Zayn kind of has like probably more knowledge than most people who are going to take the other side do. Like firsthand actual knowledge.
Yeah.
It's he runs a Syrian aid thing all the time to try to get donations. So I mean, I think that's a really bad. Like you don't bring politics to work, and you don't argue politics at work.
Yeah, and like you said, you can vote for or whatever, like whoever, but I don't think you should have to be so openly, I guess you would say, over the top with it.
Yeah. No,
Anyway,
I agree.
Let's keep it moving. Have you heard the report about Jon Moxley's AEW contract?
He has the ability to opt out after a year if he so chooses.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I think was a smart move for him.
Right.
I mean,
I could see him sticking around, but I wonder if it's just he didn't want the feeling of being, I guess you would say, locked in to a contract.
You took the words right out of my mouth. No, you took the words right. You genuinely took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, I don't feel like he probably didn't want to feel like he was locked in, and he's one of the few people who could say, "I want top dollar. I also want a opt-out clause after 1 year." I think wrestling contracts in and of themselves are fucking ridiculous because you're being given a contract to perform a duty. If you're not doing your duty, which is performing, if they're not allowing you to do your jobs, then the fact that you cannot walk away, to me, is fucking ridiculous.
No, I absolutely agree with you.
And like, there needs to be some kind of, like, out function for people like Luke Harper. There needs to be some kind of legal mechanism that's in contracts when they sign that would allow somebody like him to say, well, do you have anything for me? Can you go on record saying you don't have anything for me, or give me something? That's why I think there needs to be a union, or at least something to make sure that people can be allowed to work even if they're getting paid.
No, I agree with you. It's like I think they should have contracts like pro athletes do that have opt-outs.
Yeah, but not everybody gets those opt-outs. It's only the superstars get that. So it's like a lot of the times these people, um, WWE views himself differently than the NBA does.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know, for the NBA, it's like, oh, we're lucky to have you. With WWE, it's you're lucky to be here.
No, you're absolutely true. And with the new 5-year contracts, they're what's it? And we'll talk about it. The rumors are like $500,000 a year.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, I'm pretty sure other guys are getting paid different things. Like, but Mike and Maria, I'm pretty certain just got 500,000 a year for 5 years. And I told you this earlier. Part of it's coming out. Part of the reason why the angle where he basically became a fucking cuckold happened was because she's legitimately pregnant and apparently didn't tell WWE until after she had signed that ridiculous contract. Which, good on her. You know, fuck that. Let WWE pay people out of their ass. If you're really like, like the Good Brothers supposedly have agreed to a new deal, whether or not they've actually physically signed it, I can't be certain about, but apparently it's been agreed upon. But I can understand that. You're gonna give your family financial security, you know.
And who's to say that they wanted to, go back to Japan, or if AEW or Ring of Honor would even be interested in them? They know that this is, guaranteed money.
I hate saying it. Ring of Honor is like TNA now. Like, nobody wants, like, you go there to start your career. You don't go there to continue it. And I hate saying that because, man, I grew up with, my whole 20s, I was nothing but a Ring of Honor fan.
Yeah, they're in a weird, like, transition period.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say, but yeah.
I mean, like, and I'm not trying to knock them, but when I saw they let their world champion beat an undefeated Jeff Cobb, I was just like, wow.
Clean?
Yeah.
No interference?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah. They don't know what the fuck they're doing then.
I was just like, but then as, that went on, I was reading, and I didn't know this, that Jeff Cobb apparently only signed a 1-year deal and his deal's getting ready to come up. So then I was like, okay, well then I understand.
Well, I wonder if he said no, because it makes no sense if he's gonna. I understand if he said no, mainly because now you can make your champion look strong and put over somebody. But if he said yes, then what's the point of fucking ending an undefeated streak?
Yeah.
Who's doing the booking for them? Do we know?
No clue.
Well, they're not good.
I know. I wish they would do more with their women's division.
Oh, it's fucking trash, bro.
It's bad.
Because
like,
it was supposed to be Smiley Kylie last week in the match instead of Allie. Remember?
Yes.
So I don't know what the fuck actually happened. I don't think it was ever announced why, or at least I didn't hear it. But yeah, that's who it was supposed to be. Because I remember messaging you going, this isn't who we thought was going to be in it, is it?
And it wasn't. I just didn't remember who originally was supposed to wrestle Leva.
And, what the fuck did my cat get? Oh my god. What the fuck? No! No! She may have eaten part of a bone. Oh my... That's not good. What the fuck?
Always some type of adventure.
Oh my god, please tell me she didn't eat the bone.
What kind of bone?
Chicken.
Oh, Lord.
Fuck. Alright, sorry.
That's your children. Alright, let's see here. What else is going on? Apparently, Booker T is no longer appearing for All Out.
Yeah, I heard that this morning.
I wonder if that's like a whole deal where it was Undertaker pulled out of the one, and there's someone else I'm forgetting.
Oh, wasn't it Angle?
Yes. And now Booker makes 3.
But apparently he was supposed to be at All In too.
Okay.
Yeah, and I heard this morning he pulled out because he didn't EW Will Real or something like that.
I wonder if they, that's funny to me.
What is?
That he didn't realize the competition is real.
Oh yeah, no, he's always fucking talking about it on his podcast like he knows everything, and now he doesn't know if the competition was real.
Well, did you hear the shit he said about Matt Riddle?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, no.
Because Riddle's really a talented guy. Plus, he has, I guess you would call it a lot of charisma.
Absolutely. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I just think Booker T needs to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I just, him, Taz, a lot of them are just so overly opinionated. It's like, it's not the wrestling it was when you guys wrestled. So your opinion, while you have some opinion, it's not the same thing.
Well, to me, Taz is the one that always wants to be, like, the super, like, tough badass. And then if you, like, criticize him, he gets all, like, his feelings hurt.
Yeah, all the time.
Like, super easy.
Yeah, he gets very defensive very quickly.
Have you heard the rumors that 205 Live could be canceled?
Yes. Yes, especially with it, I guess it's with them potentially going to 3 hours since they tape it after SmackDown to begin with, and attendance is super low. So it's so fucking unfortunate because I think that they've missed the ball so badly with being able to promote it. You know what I mean?
Definitely, and I think it's been the best show, or one of the best shows they've had, I'd say, probably in the last year.
Oh, without a doubt.
Or
without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, I'll say since they had Drake Maverick take over.
Oh, yeah, and I love what they're doing with him with the 24/7 title. Him and Truth are fucking perfect.
Yeah, that shit's pretty funny. Remember, we all originally, like, poo-pooed it, but what they're doing is pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. I love what they're doing with the 24/7 title. I still think it's awful. I was never against the concept at all. I always thought it was a good way to at least try to get people on the show. I didn't like how it was being executed at first, but now it's become a highlight. But no, I was always cool with the concept of having something to spice things up a little bit.
It's a nice change of pace, and then they can put the stuff up on their social media.
Absolutely.
And get more eyes on the product. Speaking of their social media, did you see the photo that WWE put on their Instagram trolling people?
The one with the AEW?
No, the one. It's a picture of Sting and the Undertaker side by side, like that they were going to fight each other, and the caption is "What if?"
That's not good. Nobody wants to see that.
Maybe like 20 years ago.
Yeah, not nowadays. No, thank you.
Oh, and I want to stand corrected. I think I might have mentioned it on the show last week about WWE canceling a lot of UK shows.
Okay.
I did some further research into that, and it's not because of poor attendance. It's because they're going to be doing one of the Saudi shows apparently during that time.
Yeah, I heard there was also a problem with the Saudi shows because now SmackDown is moving to Friday, and they can't not have a show on Friday.
Oh,
Or they
that
can't
too. You're right.
that and apparently there was a Monday Night Raw that's no longer like it's not a taping anymore. Over in Europe, sometime in November, it was meant to be a Monday Night Raw taping, and they sent out a thing claiming it's no longer a TV taping. So I just read that late last night.
Yeah, they it was at least 3 or 4 different shows they canceled over there.
But a Monday Night Raw taping?
Yeah, that's odd.
That really is odd, because can you ever remember where there wasn't a Monday Night Raw on, like, that they missed an episode?
The last time I think I can ever remember, and this is going to show my age to some people because a lot of people won't remember this.
The Westminster Dog Club?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the last time I remember when they used to have the dog show on, and then even when Raw was preempted, they would like have it on a different night that week.
Yeah, it would just be taped. Yeah, those were in the days of the taped ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's a bunch of people who don't even realize that there was a time when Monday Night Raw would tape 2 of them a week and play one this week and play one next week. Like, people forget that.
Oh yeah, man. Sometimes they would do 3 in one sitting because back then they were only an hour.
Mm-hmm. Well, by the time Foley won the title, it was 2 hours, I think.
Yes.
But yeah, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And we'll get into this. Actually, we can just start. Fucking Raw was good this week.
Yeah.
Much better than SmackDown was. So, I don't know. Apparently, the morale backstage hasn't changed, with one guy saying, well, Vince is still the one solely in charge. And this was a current roster member that was not at all enthused about what's going on, because his answer was Vince is still in charge. Now, who that person was, of course, was unnamed.
Well, I can, see where they would say that, because it's like at the end of the day, he still has to approve everything.
But meaning that much isn't going to change because Vince is still the decision maker. So it's like, what's the point of having an executive producer that doesn't get, that somebody else is doing their job? Executive producer is the one who makes those decisions.
Yes.
Or whatever role they gave him. And I guess there's some talk now that they're saying that Triple H wasn't offered the role in case this fails. But people would... there are people in the back who wish that it was Triple H given that opportunity and not Bischoff. Not because they don't dislike Bischoff, but they feel that it's just gimmicky. Like, get somebody who's more in touch with the current superstars.
Yeah, someone that's, like you said, is familiarized with everything and not someone that hasn't been in the wrestling business for, a good amount of time.
Truly, who knows more about the current crop of talent than Triple H?
Yeah, because he runs NXT, and you know quite a bit of the rosters from there.
He knows Japanese wrestlers. He knows, it's he just knows things.
Speaking of which, real quick sidetrack. They said the reason he went on that Japan trip was to scout and talk to other talent.
Particularly Sareee, Sareee. She's right now a double champion in Japan. He has some kind of secret meeting with her.
Interesting.
She's like some 22-year-old.
Wow, she's really young.
Well, that one woman from NXT, the not Yuka, and not Nyla, but the other one, the really skinny Ro, the one that ended up winning.
Yes.
Oh, she's 22 with 13 years of experience. Do the math, bro.
That's insane.
I mean, she looks like she's like a 15-year-old girl, and I mean, she's a good worker. I mean, it's just she doesn't look like she belongs in a wrestling ring, and then she goes out there and she does very good at wrestling. So, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I guess we're getting a new Tron after Braun and Lashley destroyed it.
Yeah, which I thought that opening was really cool. I genuinely thought that was a cool opening.
The main reason I said I thought it was cool was it was something completely different from what they've done in a long time, because usually Raw opens up with a long talking segment.
Yeah, or a short talking segment that goes right into a match. This was just different. It just felt different. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like one of those. It felt like it meant something instead of just being some throwaway thing to occupy the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And plus it was, you know, like Corey Graves said, holy shit, like you weren't expecting that.
And now I'm not going to front. I sat there and I'm watching. Now remember, this is before anything cool had happened. I'm sitting there and I'm watching Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And I'm like, oh, I have no hope for the Paul Heyman era. And this is while they were already outside the ring. And I'm like, here we go again. I'm like, just like the last time, the fans are in control. And yeah, no, when that happened and the pyro went off as dramatically and as excessively as it did, and Corey was like, holy shit, and they didn't bleep it out, I was like, oh. Like, that's a market change. I also think, and I don't know if anybody else has reported on this yet, Mattel is doing awfully right now. Overall, as a company, like, their finances are in the fucking shitter. So I don't know if they're as strong of an ally as they once were. Like, whereas they were the reason why WWE had, for the most part, stayed PG for so long. Because this is the company that decided to rescind the idea of doing a Barbie movie, just in case whoever played Barbie or Ken later in life got arrested or did something to defame their name and therefore corrupt Barbie. I'm dead serious on this.
I remember you mentioned that before.
So it's now that they are not the powerhouse that they were, and again, I don't know where they are with their finances, but by all reports, they're not in good shape. They may not be WWE's partner forever. So WWE may be more lax with letting some things go. They can't afford to lose their other sponsors, like toy makers and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, come on. They had a lot of edgier stuff. I mean, Kofi Kingston flipped off Samoa Joe.
See, go back and watch it, and I can tell you at what point I knew he was going to flip him off. It was when the camera, just the way the camera moved into such a different angle than we're ever given, where Samoa Joe was taking up, like, they were both in the screen, but you couldn't see Kofi. And that's not something WWE editing usually does. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I was like, huh. And I thought it was cool. I thought it added something a little different. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was unexpected.
Hey, can't hurt, right?
No, because I think they are trying to draw the teenage demographic. And I think the best way to do it is by stuff like that and not having somebody come out doing the fucking Fortnite dances.
Yeah.
Unless you're R-Truth. R-Truth's the only one who's allowed to do those Fortnite dances.
I love R-Truth.
Oh, I've always been a fan of R-Truth. And he's just reinvented himself again.
And dude at his age is in better shape than people half his age.
Yeah, when people hear he's either 50 or just about to hit 50, I think.
Yeah.
I know I'm not far off.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was around before TNA started in WWE.
Oh, yeah, the infamous K-Quick.
Yep. Get Rowdy.
Oh my god, that was awful.
I mean, it was an introduction that it basically became his gimmick again. I mean, he's still the rapper. That's exactly what he was before. It's just his name isn't K-Quick now. It's R-Truth. You know, I mean, the gimmick wasn't much different. He still comes out singing and dancing and rapping and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's nothing really changed.
Right. Remember off air, I asked you about Kevin Owens?
Yeah, I remember you saying, yeah.
Well, I looked into it as we're sitting here conversing. Apparently, Meltzer says that it's very clear that they're turning Owens babyface, which was the plan they originally wanted for him. But they panicked when Daniel Bryan got hurt and turned him heel.
Yes, that is exactly what I figured, because they went into, you know, him being fat, and which was he was going to be like the everyman, which I can kind of see, like, and I think he's perfect for that, because it's like the anti-hero, kind of not even down on the luck, just like a normal regular guy that you can relate to, who's not always going to play by the rules, just not because he's a bad person, just because he's like any one of us.
He's the 2019 version of the William Regal Real Man's Man.
Yeah, for lack of a better comparison, yeah. Just a normal, everyday, hardworking man.
Because that's like the gist I got.
And yeah, I mean, like, we'll see where they go from there, but I thought it was great. I think he's perfect for one-liners. That whole thing with fucking Dolph Ziggler made me legitimately laugh.
He's a funny guy.
You were here, and then you weren't, and then you kind of did.
Dude, I know he was, like, doing it just to, like, be silly, but my personal favorite thing he ever did was at SummerSlam a couple years back when he did the Enzo dance.
On the apron?
Yes.
Oh, it's one of my favorite GIFs. When the fucking room that I'm always telling you about, where I listen to, where I watch my wrestling.
Yeah.
That's always one of the fucking GIFs that is posted, because they have like a whole repository you click on, and that's anytime it's dancing, anytime there's music, that's the first thing I click on, because I think it's the funniest thing in the fucking world.
And there's like very few wrestling things that make me laugh. That makes me like bust out laughing.
Yeah. That and Boombox Brock.
Yes.
I still think that was great. The first week, more so than when they came out with the actual Boombox, because it was so surprising. But the second week, him hamming it up so much just made it so great. Because that's Brock. Brock doesn't fucking ham shit up. Nice guy.
Hell yeah, dude. It was just, I don't know, just to see Brock doing that was pretty fucking funny.
Yep, absolutely, because he's somebody who's just portrayed all the time as someone who just hates everybody.
I wanted to bring this up. I know, I don't think you've ever checked them out, but Major League Wrestling actually announced their first pay-per-view for November.
Oh, that's good for them.
It's called, bear with me, Saturday Night Super Fight.
That's a cool name for a show.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty cool. I've seen a couple of their shows. I usually, well, and that's actually pretty cool. As I'm sitting here reading this, it'll be November 2nd in Chicago. and the event is only going to cost 1995.
For the pay-per-view?
Yeah.
That's not bad. Oh yeah, and while we're just on prices of pay-per-views, Fight for the Fallen in a couple weeks next week, I believe, is going to be free domestically. Sorry, people in Europe, you're going to have to pay again. But I believe it's U.S. and Canada on Bleacher Report will be free.
Which, I don't know if you had any issues, but I heard complaining that the stream on Bleacher Report sucked.
Stream is perfect. I had no problems
I
with
didn't
my
either.
stream the entire time. So if you had a shitty, that's probably because they weren't on a good connection or something. Because it was beautiful, and I'm trying to think if I had a problem doing something. Oh no, that had to do with getting me logged in through my Xbox, so I can just watch it.
I was wondering if it might have been people's internet provider.
It could have been internet provider. It could have been whatever browser they were using, but the phone I was having problems, I think, with it. But I didn't use my phone much. I had it on my PC, and then I said, fuck my PC. I turned on my Xbox. I didn't try their app. So there may have been, but I went right to BleacherReport.com or BR Live, whatever it was.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure my friend did it through his laptop or through his smart TV, and I know it worked for the Xbox if you just put in the web address into the browser. So I didn't have much problems.
Did you hear the news about Cain Velasquez?
He's starting his career in Cody's corner? Or in a tag team with Cody?
Yes.
Yeah, good for him.
And it's with AAA.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, I like people working together. Like I think with Tony Khan, did you hear Tony Khan talk after the pay-per-view?
Yes.
Or after the show? I genuinely like Tony Khan. I do. I think he's a good dude.
The thing I like is he's, as you would say, almost like full disclosure. Like he's honest with people, and it's to me he seems like he has nothing to hide.
Well, for right now, and again, this is completely subject.
Yeah, right now I'm saying
to change. He seems very man of the people, which for somebody who's not of the people, I mean, he has $6 billion. Him and his father have $6 billion and own two sports franchises. So, I mean, he's in the top 1% of the top 1%. But like the fact that he was like, oh man, I don't even want to stand up on the stage. Can I come stand down with you guys? Like, I mean, I would never hear Vince talk to people the way he does.
Yeah.
Like with gratitude. So, I forgot exactly what I was going to bring up about him, but Tony Khan, yeah, good dude.
I mentioned this off air to you. Apparently, Paul Heyman is very high on Ricochet.
I mean, I could see why, and because of his logic behind it, again, this goes back to trying to get the 18 to 35 demographic.
You took the words right out of my mouth. They were reportedly saying he's a guy who can appeal to teenagers. He
kind of can. I mean, and he looks like one, and I mean that in a complimentary way. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, but when you put him next to Braun Strowman, when you put him, I mean, but that's why they have to keep him in the mid card now. You need some smaller guys in the mid card. You can't have monsters in the mid card. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because then it's just not believable. So you have to give him believable shit to work with while he's in the mid card. Occasionally a guy bigger than him, to get over like a decent title reign, like that he overcomes stuff. But typically, he should be working guys his size, putting on good quality matches.
you talked about Raw. I wanted to bring this up before I forgot, and I'm not really a fan of the club getting together. I mean, I'm hopeful, but I don't know. Maybe it's just like the last time they got together, how it ended up, and I'm just like, ew.
I think the problem is you're gonna automatically, like, you need to separate Bullet Club from the club and only look at it as all they're taking is their friendship from Japan and bringing it to TV. They're not bringing those gimmicks from
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah.
See, that part has to be, because they'll never. I mean, as much as I think it'd be awesome, I know they didn't do anything with them last time, but to me, at least doing something with them is better than doing nothing with them. I don't care what it is. Teaming them with AJ, I think, is the best thing right now.
Right, and it, like you said, at least they have, a plan for them as opposed to them just, not on TV doing whatever.
I think without doing any kind of club thing, I think putting them on TV is just a disservice because they've done so much damage to them already.
Yeah.
That without AJ, they're just going to be a team like the Ascension. That you could give the Ascension a winning streak, no one's going to take them fucking seriously.
Yeah, because they just destroyed them in the eyes of the fans.
Yeah, so now you need to rebuild them in the eyes of the fans, and you do that by pairing them up with somebody like AJ. I think it's a fucking travesty Finn isn't part of this. That AJ being the main guy, Finn being the IC guy, and Gallows and Anderson being the tag team. I think that's a fucking travesty, considering the fact that Finn Balor's the man who created the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So I think that's a travesty. I think that's something he should turn heel with the IC title, even though they're on a different brand now. No. Yes. I don't know. But I could see them joining and then the eventual babyface turn for one of them when they get kicked out.
That would be really good long-term booking.
And then you end up with a long-term heated rivalry, AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. Oh.
And who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah. Just don't do it 452 times before then.
Yeah, like what I always say, save it and make it feel special.
Oh, absolutely. Like, build it up. I mean, but don't overbuild it. Like, where was Bray Wyatt? Like, he was at a fever pitch 2 weeks ago. Maybe wait a week, and then debut him. No, nothing.
The only thing I've seen is that the puppets have been at like Raw and SmackDown.
Most people don't care about that. Most people don't even see them. So
no, I agree with you. I'm just saying.
Oh no, that's me venting my frustration towards WWE. It's like, yes, they're on the show. Most people don't fucking see them. Like, that's not what they want. They don't want puppets. They want to see it in the flesh. Or at least something, a trailer, something, some kind of interaction with Bray Wyatt. 'Cause people are going to forget about it. Look at Mojo. They were doing something with him, and 3 weeks into it, just forgot.
Yeah, that was strange.
Now he's the guy who comes out with blue makeup on his face with hardly any explanation.
Yeah, like you didn't understand like why he became what he is now.
Yeah, and he's just halfway through his explanation to it, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, no, we're done with you."
But you're right, where Bray hasn't been on television in 2 weeks, and people are going to get disinterested very quickly, especially like this generation.
I mean, like, even if it was like, okay, you don't want to hint at a particular feud, do it in a segment like where you got women in the background talking, or like low tier guys in the background talking. Just do something with the music. Just do something. Have somebody see one of the puppets. You know what I mean? It's instead of it just being a background thing, have it be like where somebody can actually interact with one of the puppets or notice one of the puppets. Don't let it be a passive part of the story.
Yeah, I was going to say something where like someone sees the puppet and gets like freaked out and walks away or runs away or something.
I agree. Just something where the puppet just fucking appears somewhere. like the camera pans away and pans back, and there's the puppet there, and the person in the scene notices that it's there. There's something, because it would get the fans to laugh because people have just been enjoying it. You know, like in a comical way you could do it, because you still want to add levity to all of this. You know, I don't think it should debut with him fucking full on Fiend.
No.
I mean, it's probably what's going to happen. I mean, could it be done right? Yes. Will WWE do it right? More than probably not.
Which reminds me, I wanted to bring up, did you see what WWE is doing for Extreme Rules because of low ticket sales?
Oh, yes. Yes, I saw that, and the fact that they're doing it so far in advance has me like, huh, that's real indicative.
It's their quote unquote special from for 4th of July, from yesterday till Monday, I want to say.
Well, just looking at the resellers, Fight for the Fallen didn't seem to sell very well. And also, it's like, when I was looking at it yesterday, I was looking at tickets. Almost every section had tickets available.
That's interesting.
And I was on my phone, so I couldn't find where it said the total amount of tickets still. I mean, a lot of them were through resellers. It did say, like, certified reseller ticket. So maybe they were perched up, but this is still through Ticketmaster. I could purchase them.
I wonder if Jacksonville is a hard market.
I don't know, but now they're giving it away for free. And I don't know, man. I wish I was closer, because that's a show that I would gladly go and pay the money to, because that's a charity show, because at least my money is not just going in someone's pocket.
Definitely. I mean, I'll watch that one, and then I'll catch the Evolve show later.
Yeah, I plan on doing the same thing. I don't have tremendous, like, even if the Evolve show, I mean, even if the All Elite show wasn't happening, I would have been cool for the novelty of finally having other wrestling on WWE and to see new stuff, but I'd rather see Progress, I'd rather see ICW, I'd rather see the European stuff than this right now, seeing that half the guys are fucking current WWE guys.
Yeah.
Like, you could show me, I could probably watch any English company that WWE does business with and be completely okay with watching just their roster without them having to add WWE guys, other than the WWE UK guys, because I still refuse to consider them WWE superstars, and that's not a knock to them. They're UK superstars. Oh. WWE should not have the credit of making them superstars.
That excuse me, thank you. You just reminded me of something.
Yeah, I know what you're about to say.
About the stuff with Walter.
Yeah. Well, what's your take on it? Like, before you knew about it before this came out? Like, did you know about it when it first happened?
Yes.
What was your take when you first saw it?
I chuckled because I knew it was just for their storyline.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's kind of fucked up, because I've known David Starr to be very critical of WWE, and I was like, there's no way WWE approved this. Like, to me, that's like, Walter was as bad for letting that happen as Alundra Blaze was. No, I'm saying as Alundra Blaze was for throwing it in the trash. You let somebody else trash a title that WWE allowed you to bring for a company they allowed you to work against a non-WWE guy that you let touch the belt and then throw on the floor and step on. I think that's a huge... I think that's as bad as Paige's stuff.
Well, needless to say, I don't think he'll be having that title for much longer.
Yeah, if it was a WWE guy or somebody who was at least somewhat, I don't want to say contracted, but somebody that WWE had worked with, because I'm trying to think of examples that aren't signed but have done, like, NXT UK stuff.
No, I know what you mean.
Like, I can understand, and if WWE knew about it, but that's not a decision for Walter to go make. That's not your title. It's not your company.
I was
And that
really,
was only to get heat for the people in the building. What, the 300 people there really fucking, like, it drew heat for the, for the small crowd. Even if it's 1,000 people, it's still, I don't know. That really left a bad taste in my mouth.
I was really surprised, to be honest with you.
And now finding out that WWE had nothing to do and they decided to do it themselves, like, really left a bad taste in my mouth, because I liked Walter. But I just think that that's just bad business in general, not just because it's WWE's title. I just don't think you do that, to your employer, to one of their titles. You're regarded as their top guy in the entire United Kingdom.
I would say it's almost as bad as or on the level of spitting on a title.
Or allowing somebody to come all over a title. Sorry, UK fans, just as much as I'll defend you.
I have no comment.
But, I mean, again, it's just poor errors, it's just poor judgment. It's errors in judgment, whatever it is. I didn't want her to get fired over it. I don't want him to get fired over it, but apparently doesn't really respect the value of that title. And
Yeah, with that whole, I'll say this with that whole thing. I like David, but David is his own worst enemy at times.
there's very few positive things that I hear about him lately. It's everything is like, I'm all for talking out and speaking out, but I don't know. He talks like he's somebody, but he's really, like, in the scheme of things, he really, like, on the indie scene, he's a big name. But in the scheme of, like, wrestling, big name wrestlers, like, he's not big in New Japan. He's not big WWE, Ring of Honor. Like, he's a fringe guy who just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not dissing him. I just think he has too much of an opinion for somebody who really has never made it big.
I know what you mean.
And it's not to knock the guy, but it's like, if I'm going solely by what I've seen the last 6 months, it's I don't think he's a very professional person. So it's like, I don't know. That left a bad taste in my mouth, but also for Walter. Like, he doesn't escape that. He allowed that to happen.
And it's even worse because of their relationship with WXW.
Yeah, it's not a good business decision for either, well, I can see for either of them, because it's not really going to affect, it could actually probably enhance what David Starr is going to be worth for people who don't like WWE to begin with.
Oh, absolutely.
But I just, I don't necessarily blame David Starr, because if I was in his position, I'd probably take the opportunity to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just real, I'm going to keep that as real as I can.
Hell yeah. All right,
But
let's see here. Did you hear, real quick before I forget this, did you see that they already announced 2 matches for Raw?
what are the 2 matches?
Roman Reigns and a partner of Shane McMahon's choosing versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre.
Oh my god.
I know. And Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Andrade and Zelina Vega.
The thing is like, I am pretty sure that this storyline with Becky Lynch and Seth is actually working. Like, I'm sure it's actually drawing for the casual fan.
Yes.
I am absolutely sure that this is a thing. But I just can't wrap my head around it.
I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me.
No, it doesn't. Absolutely not.
But I think, like you said, it's more for casual fans.
And they eat this shit right up. So.
Yeah, like with when they did it with Cena and Nikki Bella.
And that's a fucked up situation. It's why I don't believe in putting relationships, like real relationships, on TV. It never works. It didn't work with the fucking Macho Man and Elizabeth.
I was going to say, usually if you put it on television, it's going to end up bad in the end.
I mean, like, poor Lita and fucking Edge. They're the perfect example.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. It's, I'm just against using real relationships in a fictional world.
No, I agree with you.
Especially, like, it can cause problems, or I don't know. I don't like mixing business and pleasure.
Plus, this is just me thinking, when you're around someone that you're dating or married to or whatever, like 24/7, I think that would get kind of old very quickly.
Well, it's not even. I don't even mind the fact that they're dating. It's the fact that, because they can spend the same amount of time together, whether they're dating or not, if they're on the road. But I just mean in a storyline. They don't need to be in a storyline just because they're dating, because you're not going to spend too much more time together if you're in a storyline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, it's just like, because now you're putting a personal life front and center, and it's like, it's bad enough people have a hard time distinguishing personal lines in the world of wrestling. Like, wrestling fans have a very hard time distinguishing personal space. You know this.
Totally.
So, I don't know.
All right, dude. Before we get out of here, you got any plans this weekend?
I don't think so. I'm all thrown off with what day of the week it is. I guess because of 4th of July being on a Thursday.
I said, can you imagine all the people that work like 9 to 5? They had yesterday off and now they had to go back today.
Oh, a lot of people, I think, had off today. I think a lot of people had off today.
I would hope so, because that would kind of suck.
Yeah, I don't remember with construction whether or not we would. Some days we'd have off. If holiday was on a Friday, some days they wouldn't. But I guess for me it never mattered because I don't drink and I'm not a big partier.
Oh, I don't either.
I'm not a big partier, so I mean it's like, all right, it's when I'm not getting paid for being off, then to me that's not good. So it's like I'd rather be working than just sitting home not getting paid.
I usually point and laugh at those people.
What, that go to work the next day?
No, they get all trashed.
Oh no, yeah, no, I that's not for me. That used to be me.
I'm a 1 or 2 drink minimum guy.
Maximum.
Or that's what I meant to say. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Like, Mike, you a lush?
Yeah, no, I'm not a lush. Oh, that's funny. But no, I don't think I'm doing anything either. One of the few weekends I'm just kind of relaxing.
No, that's good then. Yeah.
I think next week I might go to the pay-per-view party.
Well, you have Netflix?
Yes.
Well, go catch up on Stranger Things. I really think you'll like it. I genuinely think you'll like it. It'll give you something to do this week and sit in the AC and just watch some TV.
There you go. I think I might do that.
Yeah, I genuinely think you would enjoy it because you like sci-fi, and the 3rd season was like a decent horror movie. It really was. I mean, just the manner in which it was written, it was very suspenseful. A lot of emotions in this season. Like you really like at times you forget that these are kids because they're such good actors.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I mean, if you do enjoy it, but it's I don't very often go out on a limb and say to people to go watch things, but go watch this. I really think you'll get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
All right, I'm going to check it out. So on that note, we're going to get out of here for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, give it a thumbs up, all that stuff, and we'll see you back next week. Have a good day, everybody.